Hello, this is Tom Wagner, back with you with conversations with our St. Vincent de Paul members, and I'm here today, actually in the home of Phyllis Laughlin, longtime member and current president and St. Joseph's Conference here in Issaquah. So, hello, Phyllis.
Yes, good morning.
Thanks for letting us come into your home and talking with you for a little bit.
Yes, you're welcome. It's kind of interesting, something I've never done before.
Yeah. Now, how long have you been with the conference?
Well, I don't have an actual date anymore. It was back in the 1970s.
Okay.
And it was with I started with Holy Family Kirkland.
Right.
Yeah. And I was looking to, get a little more into the church, but what I found was a church community that just was terrific.
Right.
And then onward to the bigger, the bigger picture of the people out there that needed help, which is very gratifying to do.
Well, so let me ask you the first question. You know, you've been a Vincentian for a number of decades now. How would you say you've grown through your experience of being a Vincentian?
Well, I suppose in many ways, by the mere fact that I go out and meet new people is also changes one's perspective on life, and that makes me a little different person. I feel closer to the church in that I'm doing something that's very self-gratifying. So I don't know exactly what else it would be, but there's probably lots of things I hadn't given a whole lot of thought to before now.
Sure. How would you say that's affected your faith?
One of the things that I feel strongly about is community. And so the sense of Vincentian community in our own personal conference group has been wonderful. And so therefore, I think that is what Christianity is about, is the sense of community. It's not always hard to find when you just go to church and you have a whole church full of people that you don't really even know. I mean, you might say hello to the person sitting next to you, but how do you know them?
Right.
Not easily. So I find that being a Vincentian, it brings it down to, in our case, about 15 to 18 people, depending on who shows up.
Yeah.
And you know these people, and you know that you're all Christian, and you know you're all Catholic. And so I find that, to me, that's what church is.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there anything that your conference does in particular to cultivate that sense of community? What helps you?
I can't brag on that one. We've tried a time or two. We've had other presidents that have done a better job of this than I have. And that is to bring us together in sharing a meal. Visiting one another. And I have asked my group a time or two, well, come on, let's do something together. Somebody say, yeah, I'll work on that. And somehow or other it just fades away. It's not that we haven't done things together, we have. But I think with people working, as well as being retired, and working for St. Vincent de Paul, and they're in other communities within the church, I think that becomes maybe a little too much sometimes. Yeah. So.
But it sounds like your conference shares is that a regular thing where you share a meal together?
We try to, at least around the Christmas holidays, we try and
is that in the church or someone's home?
Yeah, we've done it several ways. We've done it in homes. We have done it by just potlucking, like at the church. And sometimes we'll even have a little brief meeting and share a meal. Yeah. So we've done it several ways. Yeah. We talked about meeting in a restaurant, which we haven't done yet, but we've talked about that a time or two. So we'll see.
Well, that's a great idea. I don't think a lot of conferences do that, so I think that's a great idea you put in forth there, that table fellowship, as you say.
Yes, it's kind of a one more step in knowing one another
Yeah.
more intimately.
Yeah. How would you say that sense of knowing one another helps with the home visit ministry or the mission of the conference?
Well, I know that doing Vincentian work is not for everyone. Over the years, I have seen people come in, want to do it, and then find that they cannot do it. Simply because going out and meeting a stranger and knocking on that door
Right.
seems to be
Yeah.
difficult for them. And I really understand that. But for some of us, it's part of the excitement of doing this work.
Right.
And when we get a new conference member that goes, yes, this is what I want to do, I'm going, yes, stay with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's never been a problem to me I don't know why, but I can go out and meet people
Yeah.
and it's an easy thing.
Yeah.
And I find that I don't take this, I mean, it's serious business, but I try not to be so serious that it's just droll. It's almost sad.
Yeah.
I try and bring some humor with me. If somebody's down, I want them to know that this is not all of life.
Right.
And I give them a smile.
Yeah.
And it works for me.
Yeah. Well,
Hopefully it works for them.
I think it does. I think the people we visit tend to be in crisis, and when you
Yes.
can bring that sense of joy and some humor, that really helps them through that crisis. Yeah.
Yes, people that are stressed and in crisis, it gets confusing to them, I know. And
Yeah.
to kind of narrow it down to this moment, I think is helpful.
Yeah.
So,
Can you share any particular story or experience or person, and especially in your home visit ministry, that really comes to mind that really has touched you in a more profound way?
well, this is not a home visit, but it's a homeless person,
Okay.
if that's all right.
Sure.
The day I got this call, my partner wasn't available. But at the time, I still had this husband who was willing to ride with me. Now, he wasn't Vincentian, and he often asked me, what are we doing, Phyllis? You know? But he said, sure, I'll go with you. And I said, well, this will be a little different, Bob, because this is a fisherman that had became ill aboard ship and was dropped.
Oh, right.
And when he was dropped, he had very little money to do for himself. So he got into Seattle and caught up with some homeless people and ended up in Issaquah living under a bridge in a tent, sharing a tent. So he wanted out, and that's when he called St. Vincent de Paul. I want out. So Bob and I got in our car and we went to the bridge and met this young fellow and put him in the car, and we talked to him to just kind of an intake, what's going on. And he told the story about how he became ill aboard ship, and if you're ill, you're off
Right.
in Alaska. And they got him back to Seattle, and he had some money in his pocket, but it soon ran out because he had to get medication and so forth. And he was from outside of Chicago someplace, I don't remember the town. So we told him that we could help him and that we would start by getting him to the community center in Issaquah for a shower, which he really needed, and he was happy to get. They provide soap and towels, and across the street is our food bank. So he went in there and got new clothes. We also have clothing bank, free. So he went in and got clean clothes, something to eat, and I gave him the $2 for the shower, and he went up to the community center and got a hot shower. And Bob and I just waited for him, while he did this
Sure.
in this little
Yeah.
area. he came back out and got in the car, and I said, okay, where do we go from here? And he said, well, I need to get back to Chicago, or this little town outside of Chicago. That's where my mom and dad live, and I need to get home. I've been struggling, my health is bad now, and I'm running out of medication again. So I said, okay, well, let's go look at Amtrak. At the time, it's been a number of years ago. At the time, Amtrak was still a pretty good price. Now, I'm not sure. I think you can probably fly. Probably is the price of an Amtrak ticket. So we went down to Amtrak, and this fellow and I went into the station ticket man and got him a ticket. I had a couple of grocery bags. Issaquah has a no plastic bag law, so I carry a few grocery bags in the trunk of my car, and I said, you're carrying your coat and some of these things, let's put them in a bag for you. And he had some food left that he had gotten at the food bank. I had about $10 on me. I said, you're going to need something to eat on the train. We got the ticket. He's ready to go. We got him on the train, and I gave him the $10 to eat on, and he needed a couple of dollars to get a bus ticket from Chicago to the little town. And he looked at me and he said, you just saved my life. He threw his arms around me and gave me a great big hug and left town. I've never heard since, but as he was leaving, I said, tell your mom Phyllis sent you home. So we were almost all in tears. We were it was such a successful story, and it had come together just like it was meant to. It was like, pick him up, get him clothes, get him a shower, get him food, get him on the train. This all happened in just hours.
Yeah.
Just a short period of time.
It really speaks to the powerful impact that we can have on people.
Yes.
Even, like you said, even in just a few hours or a couple hours, what we do can really matter in the course of someone's lives.
Yeah. That success, that was real true success. You could see from beginning to end too. We do lots of things we never know what the outcome is, but this one had a definite, you know. It's pretty exciting. It bothers me even today. It affects me, I can tell.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Well, I'm glad it affects you. And I want to say thank you for all your years and dedication to the society and your continued leadership at St. Joseph's Conference. And especially thank you for giving us some of your time today.
Oh, thank you, Tom. I'm glad to do it.